everyone. It's Penny from Cornwall Weather Team, and we're just going to bring you an update on the latest storm conditions that we've got coming in. I'm covering the evening forecast, so I'll be doing most of your radars throughout the day. And on this video, I'm going to discuss with you about tomorrow morning's early commute. Hannah?
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm Dave's wife, also from Cornwall Weather Team. You won't see me much on the Facebook page because I cover the Twitter. I also am the person who is trying to get the business up and running. So if you fancy helping us and you want to buy us a coffee, please go there and buy us a coffee.
Good afternoon, everyone. You've probably got to see me over the last few years. I'm Dave. I'm one of the main weather forecasters for the mainland of Cornwall. As you know, Jane covers the Isles of Scilly. I'll be talking to you of the life and the journey of the name Storm, how it's progressing, and I will also talk about wind speeds, directions, and so on. So let's dive in, shall we? Right. Hopefully this does work soon. Right, so hopefully this is connected and you can see these charts coming up. Penny, Hannah, can you see these charts? All right.
Yeah, I can
right.
See them.
Yeah.
Right, so we're looking at a GFS chart. This is just your normal global model, which is indicating the rain at the moment. So this is starting at 9 o'clock this morning. To the left of the screen, so over here, you can see the start of Storm Ciarán. And as I start to move these forward, you can start to see the air pressure dropping, and it's really formed the eye at this point about 3 o'clock this afternoon. It can't be perfect on times. It may be a bit earlier, maybe a bit later, but these are the latest models we can demonstrate. You can see plenty of rain for Cornwall coming in on this model, and it's looking like it's going to be quite heavy. Much of Cornwall, there's nowhere it's going to be safe getting away with it. But then for a brief break, as the actual center of the eye comes over us, so anywhere between 11 to midnight, maybe a bit more, the winds will drop, the rain will ease, apart from a few showers here and there. Then the air pressure is dropping, and at the moment on this one, it's actually starting to indicate it may drop down to 949, which is quite incredibly low as well. Then this is the concerning part, which I will show you more on the wind charts, is early hours in the morning when the back end or the tail of the low comes back. That's when we're going to see plenty more rain and some strong winds. And this little one down here is another low system, but it's not affecting us at the moment. It's going to hit France and cause them more problems. So look a bit further ahead. Then on Friday night, another low system appears, as you can see over to the left of my screen. Hope you can see the mouse moving out. There's quite a bit of rain wrapped around this one, and it's looking Friday night. We've got more rain into Saturday morning, and it's another quite deep area of low pressure, and it centers itself, back over Cornwall by the looks of it, maybe a bit further up. But hopefully it pushes the stronger winds more towards France and away from us, looking at the isobars. Right, I'm going to have a look at some of the wind models now to give you an idea. This is another GFS model, and you can quite clearly see Storm Ciarán on this one. And I will show you another one in a minute, which is quite considerably strong winds. And you can see on this one, doesn't show Cornwall, but Cornwall is right on this bit over here, if you can see my mouse moving around, and it's right at that point about 4 or 5 in the mornings when we're going to really see the strong winds, and that's when we've got an amber weather warning in place, and that's when we can see likelihood of quite a bit of damage as well. This is go back a different sort of weather model. It's showing sort of peak gusts. So as you can see, this one is showing it's still strong. So give you an idea of wind speeds. I'll show you that on another weather model. We're looking quite widely, 70 to 80 mile an hour, quite widely. Some places are going to see 90s. And yes, we are seeing the magic 100 mile an hour in maybe the west of Cornwall, places like the Lizard. And you will see on, like I said, another model, they are showing quite a lot on the north coast. Over to you, Penny, about the damage.
So we're getting a little bit concerned about the early morning commute. Once these winds starting to pick up, there is the risk of seeing damages to roofs, roof tiles, any tarpaulin that you may have that isn't secured down properly, wheelie bins, any fencing, or any loose debris that you're going to find on your journey tomorrow morning. Now, obviously, we can't tell you not to travel. However, we do suggest that you allow extra time for your journey tomorrow morning. Listen to obviously keep an eye on our page, but also keep an eye on the local travel as well, because they'll probably give you ideas what roads may be closed. There's going to be a lot of flooding tomorrow morning because we're going to see an awful lot of rainfall as well. So you're going to come across dips, potholes, areas which have runoff from fields. These can actually hold quite a lot of water. You're going to have the A30, which is going to be quite rough. You're going to have water coming off them. You're also going to see surface spray. That is going to be a problem. And also these gusts of wind are going to catch you out, particularly high-sided vehicles. They could veer and swerve quite a lot. You're going to have poor visibility generally tomorrow morning, combined with the very, very severe gusts that we're actually looking at and high amounts of rainfall. We are quite concerned about tomorrow morning. Obviously, we don't know what any other weather updates are going to be updated later on, but I think our best bet is to have a look, make your own decisions tomorrow, have a chat this evening as well about your plans for traveling tomorrow. I think that's the best bet, is to be really safe, because there is going to be trees down as well. There's going to be debris all over the place. And, there could be structural damage, quite a lot of it generally. And some of the roads that you may come across that you're not used to, especially rural spots, anywhere that's where the winds are going to be particularly strong, especially on the coastline. It's just not going to be a very safe trip, unfortunately, tomorrow morning. We just want to give you the heads up and stay safe as possible at the moment. Hannah?
Yeah, and together with these trees and winds and debris and everything else that's going to be going on, we have to consider that we have and will be getting a lot of rainfall this evening and overnight. And that rain will loosen the roots of trees, so they could fall over. So please be aware of this. We are going to see disruption tomorrow. Come daylight, it's going to look awful. But for everybody else who's at home and going to stay hunkered down and safe, make sure everything's put away in your garden. Please do. One thing that everybody always forgets is their washing line. If you have a rotary washing line, drop it down, collapse it down if you can, and lay it flat on the floor if possible. Put it away in a shed or garage. So many times even I've been caught out with the old washing line, come out the next day and it's been bent and ends up costing me a lot of money to replace, like 80 odd quid. I think the current ones are, you can get cheaper ones, but I have a big household, so I have a lot of washing. So yeah, normally I like the sun and I like the wind, but I don't really like what's coming in. No. It is really rather concerning. So get everything put away, take your washing lines down, strap down any loose roofs that you might have. We've even had one of our followers show me pictures this morning of her. She is very, very high up near Troon area, near Camborne. And she has actually boarded up her windows facing the westerly direction. So, take note. This is going to be quite nasty. Here's Dave.
Right, this lovely lady who supplies us our chickens as well, who are quite well strapped down. She's a lovely lady. She's actually been out to our house today, and lovely person. She has actually lost roofs of her own house. She's had chicken coops lifted and moved. She's had all sorts of damage over the time. But there's something else you've really got to take into consideration as well, is the swell of the sea. The waves are going to be really big as well. There's going to be 7-8 meters, maybe even 10 meters on the south coast. You're going to see some large waves, especially in high tide tonight and tomorrow morning. If you are out wave watching, please, please, please be careful on this, because the sea has no mercy. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, it will take you out if you make one false move. It really will. And also, if you're on the promenade like Penzance or Porthleven, anywhere like that, and you're getting splashes of the sea, it may be fun in your car, but please remember the sea will have bits of rocks and bits of stones in it. We've seen it ourselves, and how quickly it smashes a car window, and it will start filling up your car with seawater very quickly. So if you do it, be really, really careful out there. So hopefully I can show another weather model.
Mention one more thing on that same note. Storm surges for the estuaries. There is a likelihood of being storm surges into the estuaries, so please take care in those locations and anywhere around estuaries, houses that are built near the estuaries and so on and so forth, because you could experience some flooding. So please try and take precautions the best you can today. Now, get to it now, and let's hope you all manage to stay safe and dry. Sorry, Dave.
That's all right. I'm hoping now you can see some different weather models popping up. So I've just got to quickly realize which one I'm on. So, right, hopefully this one you can see this. This is your air pressure charts. So Storm Ciarán, that's it, started its life on Monday afternoon as a tiny little low pressure right across the Atlantic Ocean, sort of near Halifax and Boston area. It's jumped on what we call an amplified jet stream. So in America at the moment, there's cold to the north, really warm to the south, and this really invigorates, that's a good word, the jet stream, makes it powerful. It's been that good. A lot of airlines over the last few days are coming from America to Europe, been jumping on it and shaving an hour and a half off the transatlantic flight. So it ain't too bad. The ground speed of their airplanes, the last time I looked, was about 800 mile an hour, but the indicated airspeed is still the same. It's really weird how it works. But it's basically, so the storms jumped on the jet stream, come firing across the jet stream over the last few days, and it stays sort of on the south of the jet stream, so it's sort of in warmer waters. But today, it's going to come from the south of the jet stream. It's going to go through the jet stream, and it's got what we call exit left or exit to the north. So then it's coming across. Now, I'm going to catch Penny out with this. What is this name storm going to do today, Penny? It's going to do...
It's going to go under, it's going to go through explosive cyclogenesis. Normally, the center of the air pressure will drop 12 millibars within a 24-hour period.
24 millibars. 24 millibars.
24 millibars from 12. Sorry.
In 24 hours.
The next bit. Yeah. However, this one, like you, Dave, spoke to us last night, looks like it's going to drop. Did you say 40 millibars?
Yeah, between 30 and 40 really quickly. So this is what we call it. It's going to explode. It's going to make the winds more stronger, and it's going to come more violent. But there's still, even at this late stage, there's still quite a bit of uncertainty, because I can go forward and you can see where it explodes right here. But there's still that little bit of uncertainty of the last path and the track of the storm, because it could come out of the jet stream and it could fire it more north. So it could push the eye over to sort of Island Way, which there is a possibility, but it's 50-50. But I personally think it's going to stay where it is at the minute. The models are quite firm. But as you can see, so tonight that air pressure really is going to drop down, and it's going to be like 952 to 949, or maybe a bit lower. People sensitive to air pressure, people will get headaches, you're going to get migraines, there's risks of sudden nosebleeds. There's all sorts with this air pressure, because how it works, if you think in the summer we get high pressure, so it pushes down, pushes more gravity down, pushes the sea down. Low pressure is less gravity, less numbers, so everything rises. The sea can come up, you get like the storm surge, a bubble in the low, and as it comes across, comes into land, that's you get your storm surge from it. And this causes all sorts of lightness, headaches, and all sorts. But yeah, just take note of that. But it's, well, I've got to think of the other model I've got so many. I'm sorry, I'm wobbling. Right. Met Office haven't been too bad. I will actually give them their due. They've been quite good, especially getting their ambers weather warnings out quite quickly as well. That was quite good, and I quite appreciate their work, what they're doing. But this is their rain charts. So this is today, and you can see the frontal bands of it at 4 o'clock coming in. Don't go too much on the times, but it's an indication. So by 5 o'clock tonight, it's going to be well over the Isles of Scilly and starting to touch Cornwall. There is a risk of thunderstorms wrapped in this, because I'll show you the fact charts. It's wrapped around and included front in this. If I zoom out, you can actually see the eye. It's quite a big eye at there, the low pressure wrapped around it. And over the course of the evening, you can see there really is quite a lot of rain. And the Met Office UKMO charts are matching up with the GFS charts. So they're quite accurate for once, I'll actually say that. And you can see by the colours on here, this is indicating anywhere between 8 and 16 mils of rain an hour. And it's going to sit over Cornwall for quite a while before it clears. The reds, these little dots of reds, are where we're going to start to see 16 to 32 mils of rain. So you're going to get some really heavy downpours and likelihood to start seeing a few rumbles of thunder in here. This is likely, now he's seen this little break, apart from a few showers. Zoom out and you can start seeing it better now. This is when the center of the eye, so it's not a hurricane as such, it's a violent storm. So it's a force 11. The got to get this right. The sea forecasts are saying force 12 out at sea and close to land, which, as we all know, is a hurricane force winds. But please don't worry, it's not that strong at the moment. It's more likely sustained of 60 plus. So right, so we're going through the evening, and then as the back end of the low starts appearing, you'll start to see more rain, and you can see it circling, you can see it turning around the low as the low comes in and starts to move in. So if I skip forward a bit, I'm actually using the Met Office stuff, it's unusual. Right, so it's this point here, Thursday morning, is when the back end of the storm is when these winds are going to really start picking up, and we're going to see a lot of rain. So not only have you got 80-mile-an-hour plus winds for some parts of Cornwall, you're going to have a lot of rainfall as well, and it's going to make them driving conditions very unpleasant in the day. Like if I zoom in a bit more, gives you an idea of where mainly the heavy pulses are going to be. But this far out, it's so hard to say where the heavy pulse is going to be. But I'm afraid to say these showers going through it, I'm going through it quite quickly now. This is 7 o'clock in the morning. Then we do get a bit of a spell, dry spell, but the winds will still be strong. And I'm just going through it all. And really, it's going to be showery all day, I'm afraid. I can skip to Friday if it lets me, and I can show you quickly. This is the other low pressure, what's coming in Friday night into Saturday. So it's not too bad for us. Right. As I keep waffling on about, we do use lots of weather models. Right. This weather model really caught my eyes. This is the French weather model, which has caused France to go into red alerts, and they're locking down a lot of people. They're telling people not to drive, and they've got lots of strange rules over there. But you can see on this one, it's still same as the GFS, showing the eye right here coming over Cornwall, but it's that bit right here. You can see that grey and charcoal colours coming over Cornwall, and that's indicating about 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Then it carries on going through Cornwall, And this is 9 o'clock in the morning and so on. We go right through to about, even at night time, the winds are going to be strong. But it's this point here where we could start seeing 80s, 90s, and I'm going to actually say 100 mile an hour for some parts of Cornwall. I really do think we're going to see that magic 100 mile an hour. And like they've all said, there will be a lot of damage. We do have 3 Met Office weather warnings in place, 2 for tonight, what are yellow, 1 for wind and 1 for rain. That's in place for tomorrow as well. And then the amber one comes in at 3 o'clock in the morning. So this weather chart is a bit different, but this one really, really caught my eye because when I go here, everybody see my mouse going over, it is showing 117, 129. Earlier on, it was showing 130 mile an hour. As you can see, France is in for that one. This is more to show you the wind direction. So if we go forward, this is midnight. So you can see the eye. So it's going to start southwesterly. Let's go back a bit. Please don't go by the wind speeds of these maps. As it comes in, we've got the lovely southwesterly winds coming in. More so for the Isles of Scilly, you can see. But then for a while, so like midnight, then winds are really going to drop apart quite considerably. And it's going to feel like, to a lot of people, the storm's over, but it really isn't over. It's just the eye of the storm where the pressure drops. So as you can see, about 3 o'clock in the morning, then winds switch to a northwesterly or westerly. If I skip over the Isles of Scilly, you can sort of give you a rough speed. Like I said, I take these by a pinch of salt on here. Let's go to mainland Cornwall. They're mainly all northwesterlies or westerlies, and it's looking through the peak of the wind. They're all going to be westerlies, northwesterlies right through the day, and it's going to feel quite chilly as well as it goes over. And I'm still going through, and you can see by the colors, still quite windy. I'm gonna just sorry, I'm waffling. Right, these charts are your facts charts, so they show occluded fronts, they show weather troughs, they show you where the lows are, highs are. Really good for weather forecasting. We use these quite a lot. So as we click forward, this is Thursday morning at midnight's one. You can sort of see the eye of the storm then right over the tip of Cornwall, and this lovely pink band coming off it is an occluded front, which is an indication we may have some thunderstorms close by, torrential rain and heavy winds. But by 12 o'clock Thursday, it's going to be right over, heading over Norfolk way. It's got a lot of trailing weather fronts off of this one. Then in comes the one for Saturday, and it's not going forward. You can see once again, it's coming in close. Plenty of weather fronts and plenty of rain coming off of it. So if I stop this one a sec and show you this one, this is the model. What really shocked me, myself, and a lot of the team. This is another one, a UKV, so it's a UK weather model, right? So you see where these arrows are. For a time being, anywhere in that zone, let's give it a time, Thursday, 5 a.m., it's indicating, looking at the charts, of wind gusts of 100, 104, 108. And yes, we have seen gusts that strong. And Thursday, 7 a.m., you can see it right broad across Cornwall by the whites and reds. So if we go up here, let me just move this down a bit. We're up here again, so we're well into the 90s. So yes, Cornwall is going to see 80s, 90s quite comfortably. We are going to see 100 mile an hour in quite a few places. Any of my lovely team like to say anything else?
Yes, Dave, we've got some questions from the followers from the post yesterday. One of them was, can a sting jet develop in these circumstances easily?
Yes, it can. If I get time, I will put a post up explaining how they work, but we really won't start to see any sting jets forming to later on tonight. So the weather models update every like 6 hours, I think. Yeah. So they've updated at 12 o'clock today. Then the better ones update again at sort of 3, and the last ones we'll be using at 6 o'clock tonight and midnight up. So it's, in America they call them Z's or Z's, so it's like 1800 Z's or Z's, and that's how we run. So yes, there is a chance of one, but we really won't know until a bit later on.
There's another one about is it going to be as bad as Eunice?
Eunice was on a different direction. So I wish I had some images to show you. So Eunice was coming in from a northwesterly, westerly direction, and it stalled over Island, the Southern Island, because of a high pressure. It sort of kept it out to sea, but it come in. So if you can, if I quickly screen share something, I can explain a bit more. So if I go back to, right, this model might help when it loads. You have to let me know, team. Can you see this wind chart?
We're still looking at the 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. wind chart.
Right. Let me click this one. I'm sorry about this technology. Right. Can you see this one okay?
Yeah.
Right. So if I run the sequence back, so our storm for this next few days is coming in from a southwesterly. So the strongest of the winds are sort of on the southern flank over Island. Storm Eunice come down over clipped sort of southern Island, then bowed around and sort of come over the UK at an angle. So all these grey colours we had right over Cornwall. So that's what made it stronger. Yes, it could have higher sustained gusts, and yes, the gust could be stronger, but not lasting as long.
There's another question. Who gets to name a storm, and what constitutes a storm? Right.
So when they name storms, I've got to get this right now. So you've got the Met Office, you've got Met Aaron, you've got the Dutch Meteorological Group, and the French and the Spanish. They all work together. So they all come up with names. I think this one is all over poets or famous people. They do name some. They're named all boys one year, some names they're girls. And if you keep an eye on their Twitter feed, you can email them in and suggest name ideas as well. They do that. So for a name storm, it has to go under, Penny, what is it again? What's that famous word?
Cyclogenesis.
There you go. I love putting Penny on the spot like that. It has to undergo that. So the percent of the air pressure drops rapid, the winds get strong, and they have to be on a impact style. So it's times, hours, population, where it's going to impact the highest of the wind gust. And when they accumulate all that together, then they come up with the names storms, even though they really have some odd, strange names.
That's actually one of my favorite weather words. That's why.
We are, another quick one. Let me just stop screen sharing a second. We are looking tonight at maybe putting a severe one out. We're waiting as late as possible. We're waiting for the 6 o'clock weather models to update because the winds are indicating 100 mile an hour. So to me, that's severe. So really keep an eye on our page, and we really don't issue these willy-nilly. It'll be our second only ever one since we've been running Kerno Weather Team.
There was I will answer this one. A lady asked yesterday about the schools, about whether the schools will close, and they would only consider closing if there is a red alert from the Met Office, and that will obviously be up to the Cornwall Council and the schools. So just keep an eye on our page, and obviously they would email you, and you would probably get text messages as well. Hannah, you had some questions, didn't you?
Sorry?
You had a question, didn't you?
No, it's not really a question. I just want to explain that our page gets very busy when we have massive storms like this. We are only voluntary, and all our work is done in our own time, obviously. I mean, 24 hours a day sometimes, especially for Dave, and he will be up all night tonight. So please understand that we won't answer, we really can't answer every single comment. We might just acknowledge it with a thumbs up, a like, or whatever. But also you've got to be prepared for power cuts. We will try and keep posting on the page as to what locations, how many properties, and so on and so forth are without power, and when they are due to be restored. Just make sure you've got yourself a nice little torch handy, your phone charged, or some candles around the house. Just don't burn the house down, please. Yeah, in case you need to get up in the night or anything like that. And yeah, basically stay safe out there. It's going to be nasty.
Yeah, you probably hear myself I've been on Pirate FM.
Yeah.
I'll be on with James Dundon tonight. I think, I can't remember the time now. I'll give you a time. I'm just all over the place.
7.
Yeah, so about 7:20, you'll hear me on BBC Cornwall with James Dundon, I think.
You've got Radio Cornwall after this.
Yeah, so I've got this. I've got Radio Cornwall. I've been on Pirate FM. I've got Nuki Radio, which we cover all the time, but I'm doing a special for them. And as we speak, we've just had a message come in. Hi, I'm a journalist in the UK for French TV. Do you mind following me? I want to get you in touch with you about the storm. Many thanks. So that's for a little weather team based in Cornwall. We're sort of quite all over the place. We're quite well known, and it's quite a privilege, I think, over the years to be where we are. As Hannah was saying, I've got to stop this video so don't go on too long. We are working with the UK Space Agency at the moment. A big special thanks to Dundee Sat. I will give them a big shout out. A big shout out to Dundee Sat for all the satellite imageries they send us. Isles of Scilly Flowers for sponsoring our website. Moonraker.
Development.
I can't remember. It's Moonraker. I will put it up. A lovely lady.
Development, I think.
Yeah, a lovely lady who's helped us out so we can do videos like this and start our next massive, great big project. And it's going to be a big one. We will let everyone know, but please know it will, if you like, or I can say, if you like the sea, you will love this project. It's going to be a big one, and it really could put even Kerno Weather Team and Cornwall on the map even further than what we are now. So watch this space. It is starting to be developed soon, but as you know, bad weather goes on. Coverage on the page. So myself, I'm not sure about Penny at the moment. Myself, I will be awake all night and through into tomorrow. Yeah, Hannah has to put up with me jumping around on the beds and probably millions of phone calls with lots of people. I will be awake all through the night, keeping you updated with satellite imagery and everything else I can. If it's me on my own, I really want to be able to respond to every single comment.
I said I would.
So we're going to see if Penny can do it. We're going to introduce Penny to a can of Monster and maybe a can of Red Bull, so that could be quite interesting. If you urgently, please PM the page. My personal number is on the mobile on the page. You can WhatsApp me. Please don't WhatsApp me with I'm going to be blatant silly questions, because you understand I'm busy. I will answer stuff like wind speeds, directions. If you're scared, any travel problems, I will answer that. But some messages I might not answer because you understand we're busy. And I think that's really it. Just stay safe over the next 24 hours or less. The storm is on its way. We are Kerno Weather Team. We do our best. This is all free. We're all volunteers at the moment, and we're trying our hardest to make it a business. And like Hannah said, we will put a link to bars of coffee. So every pound matters to us. So it starts at £1 and it really does matter to us. And yeah, and oh, before I do sign off and see if anyone else, if Facebook allows me and I can trick Facebook, I will put the weather station live, but I might not be able to answer all the comments because of information on the page. And you can see the wind gusts and speeds, and I will be calibrating it in the next hour or so. Whew.
Well done, Dave.
Yeah, brilliant.
Hey, well
Thank you.
done.
Well done.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
will say,
You followers, you know, thank
Yes.
you. Without you, we wouldn't be here.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank
Well,
you.
saying actually, thank you for all your support, and we've got so many followers. We really didn't think we'd get over 50,000. So we really appreciate, and we appreciate your feedback as well. You really, we get overwhelmed with some of your feedback. You know, some of the lovely comments that we get. We really, really appreciate it.
Positive and negative.
And negative, bit more negative.
I have just forgotten about one other phone call I have got is Rewind Radio as well. I just remembered that.
I was trying to put that in. I said the wrong thing. I said BBC Cornwall and it wasn't.
Yeah, so Rewind Radio, BBC Cornwall, Nuki,
Pirate
are guaranteed, well, near enough. They probably call me in the morning, as they always do, give me, well, I'll be awake anyway, but normally I get a abrupt message. This lovely lady who just messaged me on Twitter, could be another one for a TV thing. So yeah, you can see we're really busy for a tiny little team. Got some lovely volunteers, but it really is hard sometimes for us. Anyway, less about us and chatting. Next few hours, really check your garden, check your garden sheds and all the normal stuff. And stay safe.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Take care.